everybody? Welcome back to another installment of the Emilio Experience. First, before we get started, I'd like to shout out my pimple making his debut, reminding me to be humble because perfection, baby, is only but imagination. So wear your imperfections with a smile as I try to disguise my pimple with my dimple. Let me know if that's working. All right, let's stop. So this topic today is why do bad things happen to good people, right? So I wanted to first give a shout out to all my Facebook friends and family and Instagram followers. What's up? Um, this one is especially goes out to some friends on Facebook that have recently lost a loved one. I want to send out my sincerest condolences to you. Um, so this is motivated directly by you guys. I hope you can take something constructive out of this segment. So here we go. First, I want to start off by sharing a quick story. In 2005, I lost my uncle, Juan Pedro Villaman, JP, to all those who knew him. And for me, I spiraled out of control. I think I just wasn't emotionally prepared for anything like that. I was very sheltered in my upbringing, and I wasn't ready. And I kid you not, for 10 years, I literally thought about death every day. Every single day, I thought about death. I was like, all right, someone's going to die. You know what I mean? And I didn't know how to deal with it, but I knew that it was constant. And then I read this book, The Power of Now, which I strongly recommend, by Eckhart Tolle. And I learned slowly, still divulging it to this day, that the difference between a child and an adult is that an adult, when you become the transition from a child to an adult, is that an adult realizes that life is both good and bad, and that they can't be separated. Right? It's one doesn't work without the other. That's life, period. And I think the adult accepts that as truth. And some of us become adults way before our time. Some of us had that huge turmoil happen as a teenager or beforehand, as our family members have gone through. My own mom, who I went through some huge turmoil in her life, and she had to stand strong early. So I think this has no age limit or barrier. So, going back to my uncle's story, I feel like at that time, the whole 10 years thing was just me like not wanting to accept the reality of life as a child. Like, I didn't want to accept it. And one of the things that helped me cope with this understanding is, I love to write, as you can see, I'm a poet. And I wrote, but I also allowed myself to accept the beautiful things that my uncle had to offer. I never forgot about him, or I never forgot the great qualities that he possessed, to the point where I said to myself, I will apply those factors into my life every day the best way I can. And that's how I'm going to keep him alive in me. Because I feel like he has such beautiful qualities. I could cry right now. And it's important to cry, by the way, because I feel like sometimes we assume that emotions are weaknesses. I disagree. I think that's courage. You crying when you need to. So, anyway, sidetracking. So to the question, this coping is a very, very interpersonal thing. It's not an external thing. It's very much your own thing. And each one of us has our own relationship with the deceased. You know, we had our own relationship. Obviously, it's not easy, especially when the attachment is so huge. Like in my case, my uncle used to come to my house every Saturday morning. It seemed like at least once a month, but every Saturday morning, I felt like he was there, and he would wake me up out of my sleep. And one of the things I despised, I detested as a child was somebody waking me up out of my sleep. You know, in my youth, I like to sleep until 10, 11 o'clock. And he would come in there 8:30 in the morning. He'll wake me up, like shaking me like this. Get up, get up. And I would be pissed for like 30 seconds. And then once that 30 seconds wore off, I was back to life. You know, I was happy. And it was um, it was a miracle. You know, so it reminds me now, like, you gotta be who you are. Like, he was himself. He could have stopped because I was upset. He could have said, "Nah, man, fuck this. I'm not gonna do it because it angers him." But he was so himself, and he knew that it came from such a pure and beautiful and heartfelt place that what he was giving me was love. Even though I wanted to be selfish and foolish, what he was giving me was love, and that was his way of showing it. And he forced me to embrace it. So I would say, like, for all those that are coping, when you're ready, when you are ready, embrace those great qualities that you saw in them. And if you lack them, try to imitate them. Try to hold them dear and apply them in your life. I feel like that, for me, that worked in honoring my deceased uncle. It helped me. And I think it will help you. So I hope that it does. I hope you took something from this. My sincerest condolences again. Love is sincerely love. This is Emilio with the Emilio Experience, signing off, but never out. Peace.